Hello, this is Steve Thoele, principal broker with Premier Property Group, and I've got another update for you on the Sherwood real estate market. This update is going to cover the last 8 weeks of market activity, ending this past Sunday, April 9th. So I hope you had a great Easter weekend, even though it was a wet one. I hope you had a great time with your family. So I'm going to share my screen with you now, go through the info with you. Before I do that, I always want to put this quick plug in for this YouTube channel. If you already haven't done so, always encourage you to hit the subscribe button. It's a great way for you to stay up to date on what's happening in your local real estate market. I put these out on usually every couple weeks. So hit the subscribe button before you leave. Okay, on with the update. This last week, I showed we had 10 new listings come on the market last week in Sherwood, which you can kind of see is a high for the past 8 weeks. And ended the week with 46 homes active on the market, which is, again, a slight high for the past 8 weeks. It's been pretty tight range, though, with a low of 40 and now a high of 46 properties on a week-by-week basis. Median price and days on market for those actives, you can kind of see that's been on the upswing over the past month and a half. Had a low of 722 6 weeks back, and it's climbed quite considerably over the past 2 or 3 weeks now. Hitting 848,000 this last week for the most recent 46 homes. So definitely some higher priced homes have been hitting the market as of late. Days on market, you can kind of see that's been trending down for the most part over the past month and a half or so. Had a high of 48 days 5-6 weeks back, and this last week came in at 25 days of average market time, which is a low for the past 8 weeks. Okay, moving along to pendings, pending sales. So this last week I showed we had 7 new pendings. Week before that was 11, which was a high for the past 8 weeks, as you can kind of see. And ended the week with 49 homes in pending status, which is been up from the last couple weeks here. Had a low of 42 3 weeks back. And the median price and days on market for those pendings, you can kind of see we had hit kind of a plateau up here at 787,000, and then it's dropped quite a bit, about $100,000 worth for the past 3 weeks here. This last week was 690,000 for the most recent 49 homes in pending status. And then the days on market for the pendings, you can kind of see we were started at 20, kind of drifted down to 9 days, has popped back up to in the 20s. So this last week came in at 23 days. So a little over 3 weeks of average market time for these most recent 49 homes that are in pending status. And then lastly, we'll take a look at the sold listing activity. So as of the time I put the info together, showed we had 0 closings last week in Sherwood. This might get adjusted up a few as things get recorded in RMLS, but as of this morning, no closings last week. And you can kind of see, we were between a low of 4 and a high of 11 prior to this last week. And we look over the prior 4 weeks of activity on a week-by-week basis. You can kind of see we had a low of 12 closings 8 weeks back, and that grew up to about 35 closings over the prior 4 weeks 3 weeks back, and then it's dropped back down primarily because of this kind of a goose egg this last week. So so that was obviously drug that number down. Median price and days on market for the solds. Median price, as you can kind of see, has definitely been on the rise. Had a low of 540,000 7 weeks back, and this last week hit a high of 743,000 for the past 8 weeks. And then days on market is kind of the opposite. You can see that's been on the decline. So we had a high of 59 days 8 weeks back, and this last week cleared down to 6 days of average market time for these most recent 22 sales. And then finally, we'll look at the weeks of inventory and the sale price as a percent of the original list price. So red bars, that weeks of inventory. We had a high of 14 weeks of inventory about 8 weeks back, and that got clear down to 5 weeks of inventory over the past month or so. This past week, it did pop up to 8 weeks, based upon just the lower number of closings that we had over the past 4 weeks now, with nothing happening last week. But overall, just very limited amount of inventory, which has dropped this number quite considerably. And then the sale price is percent of the original list price. You can kind of see it's been rising here over the past month or so. It's been pretty consistent, except for this 8-week number, which I think, if I remember correctly, there was some homes that were really below list price that really dragged this number down. But obviously we're back to about 100%. So, sellers are getting their, full asking price, the most recent reading here. So, it's definitely continues to be a seller's market environment, just with very limited, driven by very limited inventory. And, demand is definitely out there. Still, even though interest rates are elevated, buyers are still looking to purchase as things are coming on the market. And in most cases pretty quickly again. So that is the most recent update, and hope that was helpful. As always, you can reach me at my phone number and email below the video. So feel free to give me a call or reach out, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have about the market, or if I can be of any particular help in your situation, would love to talk. And also down below, I've got links to my most recent buyer and seller guides, which are there for you to download. Really great information in there about what's happening in the market, and what to look for when you're buying or selling a home. So be sure to check those out. So as always, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day and week ahead, and we will see you on the next update.